Heaven Official's Blessing. Chapter 168. Audio source: WuShoWorldAudiobook.com. Ghostfire Top, The Unlocking Incantation. They've come to Mount Tonglu too. Guz is here. Does that mean Qirong has come too? Xie Lian wondered. Look at that ball of green light on top of her head. There's no doubt he has. Watching said. Guz seemed to be a little afraid of Zanji, his little form still and unmoving in her arms. However, perhaps it was because Zanji's body was cold and it wasn't comfortable. He secretly wiggled a couple times, but Zanji instantly admonished, "Don't move." The moment she opened her mouth, with the glow of that ball of green ghost fire, the muscles of her face appeared even more twisted. That ghost fire was also considered a hallmark sign of the night-touring Green Lantern at this point. Exceedingly poor in taste, and Xie Lian felt that any female ghost who had a normal taste and valued their own image would refuse to wear such a flashy ball of ghost fire over their heads. Needless to say, it must have been Qirong who made her wear it. The green flames and the red wedding robes formed a shocking sight, attacking the eyes, even more despairing than if a master was to force one to wear an extremely ugly uniform. Guz pleaded, eyes brimming with tears. Jia, my tummy doesn't feel that good after drinking that water. Water? Xie Lian broke out into cold sweat. That underground water had flocks of corpse-eating rats swim through, and although it might not be toxic, but children had weaker immunization, and might get diarrhea after drinking it. Zanji was obviously the type who didn't like children, and had no patience for him. Hang on for a bit. We're already on our way back. Their backs disappeared and became one with the darkness. No need to say any more. Xie Lian and Hua Cheng quietly trailed after them. Soon after, they followed Zanji and turned a few corners and entered another main street. At the end of the street was a particularly lavish house, and there were voices coming from within, so that must be the destination. Under the guise of the shadows, Xie Lian and Hua Cheng charged forward first and hopped onto the roof of that house, and through the cracks peered down. Sure enough, Qirong was sitting in the center of the grand hall of that mansion. He had some tens of stone statues carried over, their heads facing him, and because those stone people were all sprawled on the floor, they looked like they were in complete submission towards him. He was thus enjoying this prostration, and munching on an arm, quite pleased with himself. In the corner sat several farmers, and one of them, with his head bowed and having practically no sense of presence, was Yin Yu. As they suspected, he was captured by Qirong. Although no one was bound by ropes, but there were balls greasily green ghost fires hovering over every one of their heads. Upon a closer look, those ghost fires were different than the flashy one on top of Zanji's head. Those had grown all five senses, their eyes narrowed downwards, their expressions malicious, looking like wicked wretches, and they were firmly watchful of the person below. Xie Lian whispered, "Those balls of fires must have something to them." Hua Cheng replied, "That's Qirong's ghost fire lock. Once that fire eyes you, if you dare escape, it would activate the spell and be burned to death in an instant." Qirong was fully enjoying munching that arm, when Zanji's voice suddenly rang from the outside. "My lord, I've returned." He immediately threw that arm away and wiped his mouth covered with blood. Xie Lian was slightly amazed. What was that gesture? Afraid someone might see? Could there actually come a day Qirong was embarrassed someone might see the manner in which he ate? Before Zanji entered, she put Guz down. Guz tot and ran in, rushing straight to Qirong's side, but when he saw him he pointed his finger and cried, "Dad is eating bad things in secret again." "I'm not." Qirong retaliated. "I smelled it. Your mouth reeks when you eat it," Guz accused. Qirong raised his hand and puffed a couple breaths against his palm, and he must have smelled his mouth full of the stench of blood and rot. Without any way to deny it, he became irritated. "God damn it, Zanji. Why did you bring him back all of a sudden? Didn't I say to take him around a bit longer when I'm eating?" Zanji floated in and explained. He was making a fuss over a tummy ache after drinking water, so I brought him back early. My lord, please don't make me take care of children anymore. I don't know how to deal with them. Qirong glared and accused. What? Aren't you a female ghost? How can female ghosts not like taking care of children? But this isn't even my own child, Zanji countered. Jiuzi tugged at Qirong's hem. Dad, don't eat those things anymore. They're not good for you. Qirong was growing annoyed by his nagging and reprimanded. Go go go. Don't hang around here to annoy people. What is this kid's nagging grown-ups? Go out and go play by yourself. And so Jiuzi could only drag his feet and go out to play with mud by himself. Before he left, he even glanced sadly at the others in the house. Only when he was gone did Zanji speak up. My lord, I really don't understand. Why must you bring him along if you think him annoying? He's been hungry, and thirsty, and teary, and sickly the entire way. If it wasn't for bumping into that mountain spirit who carried us, who knows if he'd still be slowing us down. Qirong laughed wryly. My cheap son is determined to call me dad, so just let him. PFFT, what rubbish. Of course it's because I'm gonna eat that little dumb pecker. A small kid's meat is so tender, even without seasoning it'll be flavorful enough. Then why haven't you eaten him yet? Zanji questioned. Green light flashed in Qirong's eyes. You don't understand anything. I'll kill after he's fattened. Leave the best for last. Besides, we still have so many supplies left. No need to rush. Zanji stared at Yin Yu. I think this new one you captured is suspicious. Very, very suspicious. My lord, did you find out where exactly he came from? Judging by how much Qirong hates Huacheng, if he knew Yin Yu was Huacheng's subordinate, he would have immediately eaten him. Yet Qirong replied, Yes, I got it. This bastard came with the Rainmaster to help too. A weak sense of presence and a flat personality was sometimes a good thing. People usually wouldn't link Yin Yu and the Crimson Rain sought flower together. It seemed Yin Yu had successfully lied about his own identity. Xie Lian sighed a breath of relief. Zanji's face, however, dropped. Yu Shiwang has already chased us here? No, Qirong said. This bastard found this underground city by accident, the same as us. The Rainmaster hasn't found us yet. God fucking damn it. He suddenly cussed. Why is the Rainmaster so hard to deal with? So hot on our trail that we had to come hide here. We only grabbed a couple of those planters from the country to eat. Why so stingy? A heavenly official too. I just knew none of the heavenly officials are any good. So narrow-minded and miserly. He'd always cause others harm first and act all self-important after. You were the first one who wretchedly grabbed someone else's farmers who were minding their own business. But you had to turn around and scorn others for not being generous enough to provide you with a few more? His speech made Xie Lian's fists itch. Why don't we just release those people? Zanji said. Qirong, however, seemed to have thought the idea embarrassing and glared. No, I already ate half of them, so even if I released the other half it'd be pointless. Force my hand and this ancestor will burn them all to the ground. No one will benefit from this. I didn't think things would turn out like this either. The Yu Shiwang I knew wasn't like this in the past, easy to bully. I had thought even if we kidnapped people from Yushi country everything would just be swept under the rug and the insult swallowed that I dared make a move. Who knew it would stir this much trouble, completely unshakable. Zanji actually knew the Rainmaster, and didn't seem to hold the Lord in high regard. It seemed they probably knew each other when they were still mortals. Thinking back on all the legends, Xie Lian whispered, could it be that Zanji used to be the general of Yushi Kingdom? Gerger guessed right, Huacheng said. That's exactly the case. Xie Lian was puzzled. But that's not right. Lord Rainmaster is a descendant of Yushi royalty with a prestigious status. Zanji was only a general, a lowly official, so how dare she look down on her monarch? And even say something like, easy to bully. Just then, Qirong replied, who cares what Rainmaster Dogmaster? Just wait until this Ghost King cultivates to a supreme status in the kiln, and be born with so much might I'll shock the heavens and everyone must fall to my feet. Kneel before me and eat the mud at my feet. Then, I'll tear the ghost city down, sink that Blackwater Island, and even Junwoo will have to be careful where he steps. Ha! Listening to him make up so much bull, happily imaging his future might, other than wanting to laugh, Xie Lian felt nothing. Watching, on the other hand, didn't even want to spare the energy to laugh. Qirong then said more to Zanji. Then, I'll chop off Pei Ming's cock for you to play, make him your slave. Hearing that name, Zanji clenched her fists, a trace of life flashing on her pale face. No need. As long as my lord promises to give him to me for me to handle him myself, Zanji will be plenty grateful. When it didn't concern Pei Ming, Zanji looked like a somewhat normal female ghost, but the moment General Pei was mentioned, Xie Lian could see a shadow of that mad and obsessed female ghost from Mount Yuzhan. She had actually placed that absurd hope on Qirong, a move that could only be described as crazy. Of course they could just go in directly and beat up Qirong and Zanji, but those farmers and Yinyu are hostages. Qirong is thuggish in character, and if with every punch he burns a person, then they'd be the ones at a loss. Just as he said, if they forced his hand he could very well burn everyone to the ground. Watching wasn't the least bit anxious and said, there's an unlocking incantation to Qirong's ghost fire locks. Let's think of a way to trick it out of him first. Who will do this? How to trick him? We certainly can't be the ones, Xie Lian said. Just as the words left his lips, their eyes fell at the same time on Jiuzi, who was playing with mud outside the mansion. After a momentary pause, Xie Lian said, that won't do. It's too dangerous. Qirong is already thinking of eating Jiuzi. What if he catches the deceit? Whether if that brain of his can even register tricks aside, Watching said, if he plans on doing anything to the child we can just go and rescue him. Why doesn't Gerger worry instead whether if this child, after having stayed by Qirong for so long, had been influenced by him and whether if his mental state is still normal? Having followed Qirong for so long, it really was hard to say whether if he's turned monstrous. Let's give it a try then, Xie Lian said. Thus, Watching opened his fingers flat and released a teeny tiny silver butterfly from his palm, and it fluttered down languidly. Qirong and Zanji were still talking inside the house, and Jiuzi was thus outside drawing pictures in the mud, the picture of a big person holding hands with a little person. Suddenly, he saw a silver butterfly emitting a faint silver light, and he instantly looked up, his eyes wide, and was just about to go, wow, when a whisper of a voice came from that silver butterfly. Jiuzi, don't speak. The moment you speak I'll be no more. It's me. Do you remember me? If Jiuzi still yelled, Watching would have had the silver butterfly confound his mind. However, Jiuzi covered his own mouth, indeed obedient. He whispered back, I remember. It's the scrap collecting Ji's voice. Ha, what a good memory. Xie Lian laughed awkwardly. That's right, that's me, the scrap collecting guy. Sneak over here to the side for a moment. Don't let your dad notice. Jiuzi nodded, rose to his feet and was just about to sneak away when Qirong, who was inside the house, noticed, and he yelled, hey! Don't run away so blindly, ya hear me? Stay here and don't go anywhere, the big rats will get ya. Get back here. End chapter.